nakuha. Japik.
Superstars leading the way. In Latam, Maycam Evolve emerges as the new gem of the region. With Aurora's fierce adaptability and rookie sensation Super Nahuel. Wise and King Aaron Superstars leading the way. In Latam, Maycam Evolve emerges as the new gem of the region. With Aurora, the space created by their team to finish.
Wala.
4F Nop. King Kong waits a little bit longer, and there you go. Objective secured.
I mean, they go for it, and it will work. I mean, it can work. It's pretty much whoever gets the first few kills, right? From what we've seen, we saw yesterday, we saw Joy win out sometimes. We saw the Suyo win out. Whoever scales a bit quicker is going to win out.
Yeah, right now you are seeing that Claude picked up. It's going to have a little bit of that survivability working inside of Kelra's favor. I mean,
it's right. You all know he didn't die. So with that said, Let's throw it over to our draft this time for Falcon Esports. Is it going to be enough to take them into the series and even it out 1-1 again?
You know, I do have to agree with Trex, man. You picked up the Faramis up against the Farsa and the Claude, natural counters of the Faramis. They're just going to burn through the NetherRealm, but they'll still see how Falcon will respond to Fnatic onic.
They've got to respond. They both have comfort picks leading into this game. And really, when it comes down to it, you got to be able to contain the lightning that is Fnatic onic Philippines. We'll see if Falcon can soar high. Game number 2, jump into the land of Dawn. It breaks down to this, Dax and King Kong in the jungle. This time Dax, also a pick that he loves to take into the games. We'll see how he answers mid lane. It gets a lot of action early on, especially when we see the Cho in play. And this time they'll try to secure the buffs and the early rotations. But Ingon, anything sticking out so far emblem-wise for you when we get a preview of it?
Not so much. It's just that Dax again resulted to the Impure Rage, so you know that he wants to go for the sustain. Not so much about the attack, but looking at Kelra, unfazed, unbothered. Quantum Charge, Master Assassin. Yeah. He wants to go aggressive in the gold lane.
This is what I love about Kirk too. Kirk loves the Warcry emblem on the Edith. And there's a reason why he gets so many kills when he does pick it. Such a comfort pick for him, and we've even seen him go to the extent of just taking Lords alone. So again, something that Falcon Esports wants to go ahead and keep in consideration. A lot of the early poking going back and forth. Brusco loves to be pretty aggressive on the Cho. A King Kong too on this side of the jungle.
Oh, Kurt, okay. Our Chatter Flicker combination. Here comes King Kong. Might be able to take down Dax. Super Friends once again shining for the Super family. They want to extend their lead by trying to go for Royal Milk. But again, Brusco will disengage. That was a huge response coming in from Super Friends.
Big response, PX7. Could be in trouble. Brusco taking a couple of shots. 1 kick, 2 kicks. Gone. Super Friends will pick up the kill.
The aggression of the mid-roam combination paired up with King Kong's fast farming. This was actually what the panel has been saying. In terms of statistic, Suyo has a better win rate compared to Joy, but again, Trek said it's all gonna boil down to who's gonna farm up faster. And so far, King Kong is 1 level ahead of Dax.
I'm wondering how this matchup will play a part. You know, we saw this answer already. Benny, in trouble! The feathered airstrike finds the mark, and now the fight for the turtle's gonna break out.
Infernal Pursuit, they're gonna try and work on Kirk. Kirk pops his ultimate, but gets pulled up and hit with the Queller. A trade for Falcon Esports, and now they're gonna transition to the turtle. Let's see how Brusco and Super Friends will react.
They're just gonna give this up. Looks like Falcon Esports will get the objective. They secure the turtle. Meanwhile, though, leave it up to FNOT to find something elsewhere. A ton of gold going in the hands of Kelra here as he pushed in. Still, of course, working on that first item. Did get the level 2 boots, though, to help with some of the trades against the Bruno. So he's got that little extra physical defense to go ahead and deal with that, because this is a matchup that, yeah, maybe some people wouldn't like to play in the Bruno. I mean, Bruno, obviously, just massive win rate right now, pick rate as well. But Claude so much, not so much so. You know, it's specific gold laners and players that really like to utilize this, and Kelra being one of them. Actually, we just see a lot of the gold laners from the Philippines like to go for the Claude. And it's always something they can take into consideration later in the game where they split push on the map.
Yeah, I think that's why Fnatic onic Philippines early rotated up top, because we've been talking about this a while ago, that they normally don't engage in the gold lane, but in this case, since the opposing team has the Bruno and Keller has an unfavorable hero in this squad, they have to work on the gold lane. But right now, Royal Mick with Infernal Pursuit.
They're gonna go in. Kirk, a little bit of health still left, will flicker on out defensively. So gonna be just fine. Now still the fight. Gonna disengage both sides, but some battle spells, ultimates used in that exchange. There's the kick though.
And the feathered airstrike. PX7 though with the NetherRealm to try and save Kid X. Brusco forced to use the flicker. So that was still a good initiation, counter initiation for Falcon Esports. They did, however, lose their NetherRealm with this incoming turtle.
Part of this again too is just to be able to contain, you know, allowing your junglers to get the buffs. Now look at King Kong. He can actually go in. Looks like it was taken, so Dax, no purple buff for him.
You were just about to say that the junglers need to get their buffs, and King Kong already stole one. 1.2k gold lead for Fnatic onic Philippines, but still Falcon Esports still putting on, trying to control the higher ground in Turtle Pit. They want to go for the neutral objective as much as possible to try and delay Fnatic onic Philippines' fast rotation. This is how you keep up with the tempo of Fnatic. If you can't go for kills, go for those objectives.
They're gonna go for a feather airstrike. There's the kick.
Okay, paired up with a feathered airstrike, a mega kill coming in from Super Prince, but they're gonna answer back by taking down Brusco as well. They have full control over this turtle, but King Kong will make it in time.
I'm not sure if he's gonna get there in time. Dax will get the turtle.
And the Primal Wrath coming in from Kirk, but PX7 goes in with the Nether Realm. Look at King Kong with Electrify.
Oh.
He's gonna take down one more, make it two. No trade for Falcon. They did, however, get the turtle, but Fnatic onic Philippines will transition in the middle lane.
Benny making his way alongside Dax. They will hold on to the turret. Benny taking a couple shots, but it's Kelra now taking that, but he's gonna be fine. And meanwhile, down the bottom side, King Kong just pushing in. There's the kick.
Oh, and the feathered airstriker reached Kid X, forcing him to use the Sacred Hammer to evade. And again, how many times have we seen King Kong? Actually, we don't see it because it's always an off-cam kill on the bottom lane, Naisu.
He's everywhere and anywhere that he needs to be, and it just seems like FNOP continuing on now. Benny could be in trouble.
Okay, there's still no Jeet Kune Do. Okay, it connected, but Benny, okay, we know that Benny is one of the best Bruno players, not just in a specific region, but actually in the whole M6. And now he has to step up, especially when it reached the 16-minute mark where Bruno is really activated, can go for a potential comeback up against Fnatic onic Philippines. But in order to do that, the rest of the members from Falcon need to step up and try to extend the game to that mark.
This is what FNOP likes to do. They like to play on all fronts, all lanes. You know, feather airstrike just to go ahead, get that limit test in on Royal Milk. Does get brought down under half health, but he's going to be fine. Essentially, it's Falcon Esports to go in and adjust, you know, side of the lanes, top side too, maintain what they can. And like you mentioned, Benny, he needs to get to the point where, you know, he has the space to work with. He can actually go ahead and utilize the setup from Kid X, hopefully later on, and they can even rely on Royal Milk to stay that front side again.
They're gonna easily burst down Kid X right away. Not even a single reaction from Falcon Esports. Now gonna transition up top. They're gonna gank up on Benny.
Benny in trouble, sliding tackle in. Brusco one hit away, won't get it. Still alive, and they pick up a kill now on Benny.
Oh, that was a quick response for Fnatic onic Philippines. They know that their power spike is now Super Prince with the feathered airstrike paired up with the flicker. Now Kurt goes in with the Earthshatter PX7 with the Nether Realm, but it's not gonna out-sustain the damage. Kelra goes in with a blazing duet. That's gonna be a double kill for King Kong. And just like that, in your words, Naisu, Fnatic onic Philippines, they're just too damn good.
Right now, they are charged up and ready to go. They'll get this turtle as well. It is still 2-1 in terms of turtles, but man, every fight that's going right now, it's FNOP that comes out on top of it. They have to be able to take down Super Prince. I mean, we've seen the utilization of the flicker defensively, aggressively, and everything. So Falcon Esports, they want to be able to lock someone down, but who do they get? Because even when you think they're actually going to be able to kind of withstand a forced fight, it's either Kirk or it's Brusco. Every time that flicker is available to Brusco, he's going in, trying to set up a kick here. Now at this point, they'll have to respond to Falcon Esports trying to find up what they can. And when you're looking at the damage, the amount of damage that's being done here, they just need more time to farm up. The fact that they have this fairness in their favor, it's not the same amount of damage burst that comes out from Super Prince.
You know, at this point, Super Prince is really trying to force PX7 to use the Nether Realm right away before they fully commit, but here comes the play. Oh, Jeet Kune Do plus Flicker combination, gonna bring down Royal Milk. Infernal Pursuit's not gonna be enough now. Again, gonna transition onto Dax. Will they overcommit though? They don't have minions, and under the turret, they might go for the discipline route and just walk away.
Falcon at this point, trying to get what they can across the map. It's probably going to be this tier 1, but they get the information that you guys might want to back off from that as the rotation comes through from Fnatic onic PH, and this is what they like to do. Dax in trouble.
Kelra?
Still going to be fine. Kelra won't dive into that, but they will work on the tier 2 turret now. PX7 joining him up. Not going to go down just yet, but Super Prince.
Another airstrike going to connect onto 2, forcing PX7 and Dax to walk away, zoning them out. Fnatic onic Philippines, they're going to have minions under the middle lane. Are they going to commit the mid push? Because right now they have a 7.3k gold lead. At this point, you're free to do anything.
Yeah, when you have this kind of lead, it's really You have to be very careful on how you approach some of these fights. Even into this first Lord, if Falcon Esports approaches it and gets out of place, out of position, I would say even if Kid X gets that implosion set up, again, mind you, they've got a couple of things to work out. There's the kick from Brusco.
Plus the feathered airstrike forcing Big 7 to use the nether realm right away. Can go onto the back line. Whoa! Okay, manages to get an implosion, but Brusco picks up the kill. Royal Milk has to flicker away. Here comes the Fnatic onic Philippines. Kirk with a primal wrath, but they're gonna answer right back and take down one Fnatic member down.
Oh, Super Prince.
That's 2 kills for Fnatic onic Philippines in exchange for Kirk.
He's keeping Dax there. Dax is going to go ahead and reach in, but King Kong will jump in. Super Prince waiting patiently, relying on Benny to come help him out. He wants to clear that way. Oh, there's the feathered strike. They're going to cancel it out so he doesn't get the one last in, and Super Prince will back off, but they bought themselves enough time to secure the Lord for FNOP. King Kong waits a little bit longer, and there you go. Objective secure.
Fortunately for Falcon Esports, the Faram is actually scared off Super Prince's Farsa. That was one more hit to Dax with a feathered airstrike. So Falcon Esports, they did not lose any bodies, but Fnatic onic Philippines, they got the Lord uncontested, and now they're going to try and make sure the minion waves are managed. They're trying to take down all inhibitor turrets as much as possible with a 9.2k gold lead.
Again, it's a massive lead for them, so Falcon Esports backs against the wall. We saw a preview of the team fight potential. Even if an implosion is set up, they just don't have enough firepower right now. So this main idea might be to get a pick here. King Kong, though, elusive as he is on the Joy, will be able to just freely get away. Still waiting for that Lord to push in. So Falcon wants to stay in this game with this kind of deficit is they've got to be able to pull the holy defense off. A miracle play, if you will. They try to hold on at the tier 2 in the mid. Kirk will jump in, gets the tackle out. Feathered airstrike dropped down, and the shields are going to be popping. There's Brusco once again as a threat, looking for the kick. They just get a couple shots of the base turrets as King Kong approaches that bottom wave. But right now, Falcon Esports holding in. This might be the moment, though, as this next powered-up wave will push into the base.
Okay, Brusco has the conceal. He does have the flicker. But I think Fnatic onic Philippines are not going to overcommit because Falcon Esports made quick work of the mid-lane minions and now going to transition onto the top and to the bottom. Fnatic onic Philippines trying to play as disciplined as possible. They can't find the proper angle to penetrate the defense, to penetrate the front line and get to Benny.
Still, give it up to Falcon Esports, even despite being down this much, hold on to their base turrets, even if it's just barely in the mid lane. Looking at the items, you can see the glaring difference between the gold laners. Nearly 3,000 gold difference. And they're able to take a risk because of the fact that Kelra has these items now in the mid lane.
Kid X targets Kirk onto the back line, gonna get ganked up by 5 Super to the rescue. The feathered airstrike gonna take down Kirk. Once again, Fnatic onic Philippines, King Kong with the electrifying beach, trying to go for the back line, but PX7 with a clutch nether realm, and all the while Kelra just worked on the top lane inhibitor turrets, executed flawlessly by Fnatic, but a heads-up play for Kid X for Falcon Esports.
Took them a little bit longer, but they got the 2 base turrets down off of that Lord take. And again, Kelra now picking up the Malefic Roar. As we were saying, the spark difference between the gold laner damage is a massive. And so we're looking at another 5+ minutes, really, for Falcon Esports, possibly to get back in fighting form. They might have to go ahead and give up even the next Lord at this point, unless they can somehow get a pick off. And I feel like that's what they've been trying to do, but it just hasn't worked. Because most of the times you have people like, these heroes like the Joy that are just scouting things out, and King Kong can easily get away unless he's locked down properly. Picks up the Divine Glaive himself, so the amount of magic damage being utilized here between him and Super Prince, and even to an extent, Kirk is a massive.
Yeah.
The Lord will be started up. Still looking to make a play up there on the top, trying to get that tier 1 down. Quick work on this Lord take.
Okay, an uncontested Lord for Fnatic onic Philippines and Falcon Esports. They're no longer looking for a trade. I think with their current composition, they can, however, try and clear this. especially if no one gets picked off and Kid X makes another miracle implosion play. So it's still possible for Falcon Esports to try and turn things around and force the game to the 16, 17 minute mark when Benny is going to be activated for their side.
Benny's positioning is what's crucial here. You can still play around the fact that you have a Netherrealm to help you. He's got a little bit of defensive, picks up the Rose Gold Meteor, so he's got that BOD also for Dax on this, possibly the last defense. We'll see how they play apart. FNOP takes the last base turret in, and now walking in slowly with the Lord up front. Taking a couple shots, they still respect the damage that can come out. Benny on the front side, gonna get checked, but they actually defend, even despite the 13K lead right now for FNOP. Not sure if they actually go in further. It looks like they do really want to just be disciplined here because of the fact that they have to respect how much utility is actually there for Falcon Esports.
Yeah, again, they have the Netherrealm and Kid X can go in anytime with the implosion. So Fnatic onic Philippines, even if they have this huge lead, 12.9k, even if they had the Lord, even if they have damage coming in from Kelra, the utility, the PX7 alone with the Netherrealm is going to be enough for Falcon Esports to out-sustain 2 to 3 seconds worth of damage coming in from Fnatic onic Philippines and eventually enable Benny to just wreak havoc up against Fnatic onic Philippines. Not to mention, he did, however, pick up the Rose Gold Meteor, as you mentioned, and he does have Purify. So in terms of positioning, when it comes to those clashes, it's going to be also hard for Fnatic onic Philippines to lock down on Benny.
Sort of surprised, you know, with FNOP, even with the lead that they have, based off even what we saw in game one, how kind of slow they're taking that approach into the base. And part of it really is just because, for example, if one person goes down from FNOP and they overextend into a base push, that's a whole lot of gold going to whoever gets that kill from Falcon Esports. And if it's Benny, obviously he's pretty much there. I mean, he does have the itemization that he needs, still working on the last one. But you can already see it. You know, when they get a preview of the damage, when they're defending, it's there. And a Netherrealm alone is enough. No matter how behind PX7 was, for example, Netherrealm is enough utility and enough value to actually turn base defenses, where we've seen this even in previous competitive games for MLBB before, where a Netherrealm, a clutch timing on it, can keep you into the game. So it's FNOP practicing that disciplined approach. You're still waiting for that Lord to come up. Not really going to be able to find anything from this, so rather just kind of at a stalemate until Falcon Esports gets in that defense mode again.
Yeah, Fnatic onic Philippines gonna do this by the book. Gonna try and get an uncontested Lord, but looking at the position of the rest of the members of Fnatic onic Philippines, if someone for Falcon Esports tried to get information, get vision, for sure Fnatic onic Philippines won't be afraid to try and dive down and get the burst.
The Lord's up here now, so Falcon will just let it get taken. They know that even if they approach towards this, it's going to be gone in an instant, as it is. Another Lord now in the hands of FNOP. This is most likely the one that could end the game. So have they bought enough time earlier on? We did say, you know, Falcon Esports needs about 5 minutes. They got the 5 minutes. They made that work. That was one of the boxes they had to check. Now can they make this a team fight, a defense, to possibly turn the game in its favor? Again, they have, no turrets down. So they have to win a base defense and possibly swing towards the base of FNOP. And as they wait for that Lord to approach, FNOP will deal with the ways managing them up. And this is one of the things, you know, Dax himself has good damage on the Suyo, but he's nearly just got to wait for Kid X. If Kid X lands this implosion, it's going to be great, but already Kid X in trouble.
They got spotted out and bursted down. Kid X Immortality will be popped. That's one member down for Falcon Esports, but Kelra actually is not going to mind Kid X anymore. They want to go for the tower push.
Without Kid X, though, can they even win this fight here? They're going to break out.
Okay, they're going to zone out the members of Falcon Esports with a feathered airstrike. They're going to log onto the base and win game number 2 for Fnatic onic Philippines.
And off a questionable positioning, punishing the positioning mistake, man. We don't even get to see Falcon Esports go for the base defense that they were building up to and they bought time for, as FNOP will punish any mistake they see. Now at 2-0, match point for this series. Again, going back to the drawing board here for Falcon Esports.
Yo, Fnatic onic Philippines, even though they're a hyped up, exciting team, they're still not afraid to showcase their discipline, their macro gameplay, and their patience up against a team like Falcon Esports. That game was executed to perfection by the whole squad of the Super Family.
Man, I'm just not sure the call there. You know, with Kid X, that was crucial. I was saying, you know, we need this implosion. to see the tide turn possibly in the fight, but hey, maybe the panel can.
And then pick up the CC, maybe second phase or something.
Put it on Kirk?
Yeah, maybe even kind of pick up something that's flexible so they don't see it coming. It could definitely be a very nice counterplay we could see. Here comes the Eve band, so already something different.
But also speaking of different, Fnatic onic is now first pick in the draft. So that means they have prio over a hero like the Bruno, which we've been seeing dominate. And usually in their hands, they're able to push on forward with it. And does Falcon Esports have something in their arsenal to be able to shut it down?
But gentlemen, I think we can agree that Bruno's not the problem, right? Especially if you're Fnatic onic. There's a way to deal with it, but just the same, they were in this very spot to start the day. They picked the Bruno first, so that could be a way to, you know, get back to your center, find a way to be proactive in the draft, and then end up with these, you know, problematic trades. The CC to the Fred, the Joy into the Fred, and
Fred
already, get out of here.
So you ban Joy here? But then you give over the Blue Yo. So no, you don't ban Joy here. But my thing is now that we have this dynamic between jungle, if they leave it all open, FNOP, do you think they would first pick Joy with Fredrin gone?
I think it would be a good read. Honestly, without that Fredrin, it's going to put a hole in the draft for Falcon Esports and maybe a little bit of that challenge as we are seeing the bans completed and the Joy is still walking.
So the thick plottins. Do we Joy?
Or do we Bruno?
Bruno?
You don't Blue Yo.
Do you Hilda?
You maybe Hilda,
because you can
let
run
the other team.
Yeah. Because you'll end up with one or the other, but you run the risk of Joy Bruno for Falcon.
Looks like they're wondering the same thing right now.
Ooh, Fnatic onic taking their time.
Hey, something else is still walking on the table. It may not come first, but it's been very impactful. The Farza is still on the board, and it is won on every single side it's been on in this series.
So they go for the Cho. They leave it in FCON's. If I'm FCON right now, I think I go for the Joy.
Joy Bruno?
I think Joy Bruno would be solid. It's very strong up front. Joy Bruno could be solid, honestly. There it is.
All right. So Farsa here, would you right now put it into this phase? Because I wouldn't agree Farsa first 1 or 2, you know what I mean? But I would first phase.
I would first phase it. I think it would be, because if not, then Falcons is going to pick it up, right? You're kind of forced into a situation.
Isn't that damage overload, though? Isn't that a little too much soft?
I think at this point, FCON needs some sort of front line before they're all cut off.
Before you commit to that kind of artillery, right?
Do they pick up the Hilda here on FNOP? Hilda jungle? Maybe just go for the alpha?
It's either the Hilda or Khalid first.
Heaven chose me to vanquish the shadows that plague.
Oh, Granger. We haven't seen the Granger. Granger's been getting banned.
It has.
Now that it's through, it's a clear answer to the Bruno. Which, by the way, it's been catching up, by the way. The stats are so close. The stats are neck and neck for Bruno and Granger here.
And it really helps support the Suyo and some of the things he's have. Like, it just adds a bit more damage where he needs it. The Granger's a little harder to catch, I think, than the Bruno. There goes your Hilda pick, though. So I think overall, both drafts very solid. We finally see both coaches, I feel like, are on an even playing field going head-to-head.
Well, there's 2 flex picks available right now, right? I mean, you have the Hilda on the side of Falcon. Could be the Roam, could be the XP. Same with the Cho as well. So right now, I think it's going tit for tat. They're trying to figure out who has the edge against the other. I mean, right now, Roams are still available to be grabbed from both sides.
Current stats on the Bruno-Granger matchup, 7-6 with 1 game lead for Bruno. Thanks, Manny.
I love that. I mean, because in the beginning it was all Bruno, but now that we're getting to the knockout stage, we're seeing the gold laner shine, and we're actually seeing that it's a legitimate counterplay, right?
We'll put it into the hands of the likes of the gold standard, the untouchable Aaron Shiki. It's definitely possible.
For honor!
All right, hear me out here. Tigreal
is banning.
Nope, wait, did he just get banned? Okay, he's banned. I was about to say, I was walking for a second. I thought
Recall.
there would have been a chance, but a good read from Fnatic onic. I mean, especially with that show, with not as much group CC. The TIG would have been excellent here, and I think that's a good read to be able to take that off the board. Now, yet to see the mages picked up. What are we thinking?
Farsa is still out there. Eve is still out there. Vixana, oh, Eve is not there anymore. Vixana is still out there, so is that the possible trade?
Is there Vixana? Yes. My eyes are on this Matilda still.
She's out.
Oh, she's banned. It's been a long.
Is there room for an Aurora? Because I was expecting the Louis to get taken out here too.
What about on FNOP side? or on FCON side?
Either way.
I think it works better on FCON side to deal with the fighter jungle and the Cho and everything. Joy's a little harder to hit with an Aurora.
You know who I'd like to see? I don't. It might not happen, but the Ruby for Fnatic on it.
Ruby Rome.
Yeah.
It works good with FCON too, honestly. You deal with the Cho and you deal with the Suyo.
Yeah, it was brought out yesterday by RQ Hoshi into the hands of Enoch.
Against the Cho, against those types of picks.
Hard
so,
stoppers, yeah. Even the Joy will have to think twice about dashing through.
Yeah.
She get yeeted in. Yeet.
You ever been yeeted in, Weezy?
I can't say that I have.
It sucks. No fun.
No good, no bueno. All right, there's the Khalid band out, respecting Kid X's potential. And there's the Kid X pick, the Gatot. He was running out of choices, folks.
Yeah.
But luckily, all of Falcons players all have played at least 5 heroes throughout the run in M6, so they got deep pockets.
All right, now we put the ball in Fnatic Onyx court to decide, is this going to be a Cho in the XP lane, or will this be a Cho roam?
I think they could Barza here again, honestly. It's the one. It's like I like the Vex, I like the Aurora, but the problem is you have little escape from this Hilda and from this Joy.
Yeah.
But at least with the Farza, you have your wings by wings. You have
You can purify.
You can purify.
You can flicker.
You have a lot of maneuverability at least.
I'm with you. Also, we do not know exactly what Brusco's playing. So finally, we're going to get a reveal here. Which one of a pocket pick? Is this a Nakai?
Go!
Okay.
Still up in the air, though. We've seen a good chunk of XP Akai in the past quarter of MLBB Sports.
It could definitely be either one right now. The same goes for the Gatot and the Hilda.
Oh, it's more likely Hilda XP.
Or like, so do you like the Kai over? I think the Cho's better EXP against Hilda because at least you can keep up in rotations.
Correct.
This makes it difficult to put in the Farza, though, because there's a way to get back to the Farza with the Cho, with
And
the
to
Akai,
steal it.
and to steal it with the Valentina,
Uh-huh.
with the IMU. That's a really good read from Fnatic to lock in that Valentina last minute, and now all eyes are on Falcon Esports. Keep in mind, if they pull off this game, they will tie up this series, a battle to earn top 4 and have a seat in Oxiata.
And that means we go all the way. This rivalry will not go down so quickly. The closer for Falcon. There it is, Coach T, the Aurora.
I like it. I mean, I think it's solid. I think it helps answer something. The real spice here, though, is that Akai. How is it going to work out?
Back-to-back, game-to-game, FNOP bring out a spicy pick. Let's throw those our casters to call this match.
Game number 4 ahead of us here at Falcon Esports after getting the last one. Can they do it again to bring it down to 1 game? What is up, guys? Again, I'm Nice and this is Ingon. Ingon, some interesting picks here. We saw the Yuzong earlier last game, but now also the Akai comes to play.
Yeah, Akai onto the hands of Kirk, so it's gonna be interesting how he's gonna fare up against Royal Milk's Hilda. But in terms of clear speed, I mean, paired up with a concussive blast, then you get the Molten Essence. It's gonna be okay, and then you're gonna have a huge advantage when it comes to those AoE control.
AoE control or not, again, up for Falcon Esports to gain the flight in the series, jumping into the land of Dawn. Will it be Falcon Esports taking it to a Game 5, taking it all the way against the Super Fam FNOP? Or will this be the end of the series? FNOP looking to close it out, still at match point. Dax and King Kong again in the jungle, and yeah, it's Brusco on the Akai in that roam. Kirk went in, took the Cho, parked it in the XP lane. So now we get to see this kind of difference work here this time around. But I think, you know, Falcon Esports, man, they have a lot of great picks to deal with this. Even looking at the emblems locked in here, quite a bit already. Royal Milk taking some damage, a little bit too much.
Even popping the Revitalize, but King Kong might actually be able to take him down. Here comes Super Friends, but Shadow Strike also. One more hit, and King Kong gets it. First blood kill onto Fnatic.
First blood going to the hands of King Kong, helping build in that momentum. Surprised, you know, that even with the Revitalize, Royal Milk just wasn't able to kind of withstand that. And that's what I was going to say. You know, the heroes that they have, mind you, they have the double Revitalize sustainability composition here to help them out. Kelra, too. I mean, we saw his phenomenal performance on this Granger alone just yesterday. So still, it's going to be that gold lane matchup. And I have to agree with what Trex mentioned earlier. You know, these at this point in the knockouts, you're really seeing these gold laners come into play in these, longer series now where they are that crucial part where, yeah, sometimes they're left to their own devices in the lane, but then they end up going 1v1 themselves. But later on, these picks specifically, obviously can turn the tides of these early on fights.
Yeah.
So now Turtle's up. Positioning going to be crucial. You can already see it too. You have Super Friends taking some shots here. PX7 though. Oh, whoa!
Whoa! A crucial kill for Royal Milk onto King Kong off cam. And now trying to work on Kirk. No retribution holder for Fnatic onic Philippines as Dax picks up his purple buff.
Oh!
But they answer right back with a takedown onto Kid X as Falcon Esports will try and get the objective away for Fnatic.
They might try to stall this, but I think it's going to be too late with the Joy. The electrifying beat's going to be too much as Dax will secure the objective. Good response again from Falcon Esports. Able to pick up King Kong, it's surprisingly, we didn't get to see it all happen, but PX7 was there. The flicker was gone too, so great usage again with this Aurora pick. They'll kind of settle back into the lanes here at this point. But that's the thing, this Hilda XP has been a nuisance for a lot of teams going against it. Oh, Benny going to go ahead and block a lot of shots. Calvin going to be fine, just trying to delay what he can. He is a little bit behind Benny, though, for now.
Yeah. So right now, the play for Falcon Esports is to really just be aggressive in the mid lane, especially for Royal Milk onto the bottom lane and try to keep Fnatic onic Philippines preoccupied. Don't mind Benny once again. Give him the power spike later on that he needs to try and outplay Fnatic onic Philippines. And so far, Royal Milk has been doing that. A solo kill onto King Kong. And the best part is, Fnatic onic Philippines, they're not as aggressive compared to what we've seen in game number 1, game number 2, wherein they're trying to control the pace against their opponents.
Maybe they don't have to be too aggressive. I mean, part of this too is because of Super Friends, what ultimates is he going to take for this? Takes the Frigid Glacier. Oh, there's a lockdown, but again, the passive still there. Takes a shot too with the Queller. So King Kong just kind of shooting off from far range. And like I said, this part of this is, I'm wondering how the Sakai roam is going to work here for Brusco, especially when he's trying to utilize the lockdown with a heavy spin. And how this all plays a part. King Kong taking a couple shots. Kirk, though, goes with the kick. Might just disengage. Does get the ultimate out. Kirk going to be in trouble as Royal Milk will get the kill.
Ultimate sacrifice for Kirk to save King Kong from harm's way. Again, that was still a good initiation for Falcon Esports, but could be bad or worse for Fnatic onic Philippines if King Kong got picked off once again. Now, they're giving a lot of space for Benny onto the top lane. Now they want to go for the counter engage onto Royal Milk, forcing his Revitalize.
This is why they have to buy time. Brusco gets the Revitalize out. They still have one more. Now the Turtle's up. Falcon Esports will go ahead and get in position. Kid X holding down the front side. Kirk taking a couple shots at King Kong, trying to get a range here, but he's going to be zoned out quite a bit from Falcon.
Royal Milk and Kirk and Kid X just trying to zone out. Here comes Brusco with a heavy spin. Caught Dax off guard there, but still Dax gets the turtle. Here comes the counter engage once again from Falcon Esports, going to bring down 3 more.
Oh.
Kid X goes in with the AOG and takes down 4 members of Fnatic onic.
PX7 is online with the triple on this Aurora. Great usage with the Frigid Glacier, and look at that, they're going to get a tier 1 as well. Talk about momentum for Falcon Esports.
Falcon Esports, 3.3k gold lead. Their lineup actually is good for those counter engages, but looking at the instant replay, they're the aggressors. Even though Brusco had a good pin down onto the backline, they set their eyes on the proper targets, which are the damage dealers. Dax focusing on the turtle, he got it, and at the same time, they had the kit to go for more and overextend because Kid X saved his AOG for the perfect moment where Fnatic onic was trying to escape.
And see, that's what I was saying about the lineup that Falcon Esports has. They have so many options to zone out with a front line, but even their back line protection is actually going to be pretty good just because you also throw in Aurora to the mix. So now they're going to be focusing a couple shots on Royal Milk, but he's tanky enough to just deal with it. This is a huge lead already early on. 4,000 gold for Falcon Esports. So now FNOP in a position that they don't find themselves in often. They don't usually have this kind of gap to work against. So the adjustments on how they approach the next portion of this game is going to be crucial for them. I mean, even for Kelra, it's a little bit harder for him to actually move around, even when the flicker is gone, because of how much threat there is from Falcon Esports, whether that's the Hilda, whether that's the jump from the Avatar of the Guardian with Kid X, or even just getting frozen down from PX7. And as they picked up those big kills, you know, these are big item power spikes already for Falcon Esports.
Yeah, Killer just only has the Hunter Strike compared to Benny. Has Claws, Berserker's Fury, gonna work up to try and get that Malefic gun right away and activate his late game power spike later on. 4.4k gold lead for Falcon Esports, and they're getting good ground coverage, not even letting Fnatic onic Philippines get a sniff off that turtle.
3 for 3 now for Falcon Esports. Objectives all secured. Once again, momentum in their favor. They're going to play a part. They're all over the jungle. There's a kick from Kirk into the turret.
This might be a good engage for Fnatic onic Philippines. They're going to take down Royal Milk, forcing Kidex also to use their Revitalize. Kelra, that's Sonata connecting. Damage not going to be enough. BX7 used the Frigid Glacier to try and walk away. Now Fnatic onic Philippines slowly finding the favorable trades.
They'll find one pickoff, but they still have so much ground to cover here for FNOP. As Falcon Esports willing to go ahead, you know, if they lose Royal Milk, it's not that big of a deal if it's Kid X as well, and PX7, you know, quite sustainable himself just by the fact that he has also got the passive and can work with that. So even if he uses the Frigid Glacier, it's not the end of the world here for Falcon Esports in the fights. Brusco picking up a crucial defensive item. First one finally locked in. Athena's shield dealing with so much magic damage being thrown at them. So the fact too that the tier 1 turn in the mid lane is already gone for FNOP at this point in the game, it puts them in this situation where they're kind of clumped together and they can't overextend. And Benny picking up the Malefic gun, there's the lockdown on Royal Milk. He's gonna just take so many hits and will get shot down.
Dax trying to go for the answer. Here comes the Electrifying Beast, gonna take down Super Prince. And that's a good better trade for Falcon Esports as Benny works on the top lane turret. And we were asking this question even during the start of the broadcast, is how do you tame the beast? How do you tame King Kong? It's easy. Take down the mid lane turret, expose his jungle, and take away the buffs of Suyo.
That seems to be the answer right now, as Falcon Esports takes the tier 2 in the mid lane already, setting themselves up for a easy take on the Lord, unless FNOP, despite being down 6,000 gold, actually want to contest this. Knowing them, they might get in position for it. They're going to go ahead and grab what they can, but you answered it here. Ingon, you stop King Kong by just taking parts of the jungle. And it looks like right now, they're going to go for even more here. King Kong's still on the top side. Kirk can't find an angle. Super Prince going to dodge the Avatar of the Guardian.
Okay, they're going to overcommit and try to force Fnatic onic Philippines to back away as they work on also on the bottom lane turret as they get the Lord. No trade whatsoever for Fnatic onic Philippines. They do, however, get the top lane turret. And just look at the damage coming in from Benny. He already has the Malefic gun, so in terms of range, you can expect Benny to just go crazy.
It looks like Falcon Esports wants to do in Game 4 what happened to them in Game 1. Massive lead right now, very one-sided, and Lord getting ready to march down the mid lane as Fnatic onic Philippines gets ready for a defense again. What kind of tools do they have here? Super Prince, he's been holding on to the Avatar of the Guardian the most of the time, so we'll see what ultimates he takes for this one. He holds up on the front side, Kid X to stay up front. Lord gonna make its way. They still have the shields. They're gonna force a fight here. Shield's gonna pop. Dax now, is he gonna jump into the base? They deal with the Lord, it's gone. But you can see it, Benny online. Just a couple shots will bring them down to half health even.
Oh, good play coming in. Kelra shuts down Benny. There was a close call for Fnatic onic Philippines because Super Prince almost got bursted down to try and get the AOG away from Kid X. And now Kelra has been activated. A crucial shutdown onto Benny.
A good pickoff, but still, FNOP has so much work to do. Successfully defending that one is not enough to turn the tide in this game just yet, as Falcon Esports still holds on to a comfortable lead. And I mean, Dax, there's been no answer for Dax. Dax has just been freely taking the jungle. Looks like they want to go for the mid lane, though.
Okay, they commit the Frigid Glacier for the AOG. It's all gonna miss, and they're gonna try and take down Kirk. Electrifying Beast, but Brosco from the back with a heavy spin. Gonna catch up onto Royal Milk.
Still going, they're gonna disengage. Super Prince holding on to the Avatar of the Guardian still. King Kong gonna work on the purple buff and Kid X and the rest. Oh, the shots from King Kong! The Queller finds the mark.
Even with the Revitalize, they're able to answer right back And Falcon Esports heads up play. They're going to try and take away the orange buff of King Kong. Let's see what's going to happen here. Dax trying to zone out King Kong, and Falcon Esports still clinging and holding on to a 6.2k gold lead.
Royal Milk's going to be that guy. You know, he's probably going to die the most, obviously, through this because he's that front line. He gives so much information to Falcon Esports in some of these skirmishes and some of these fights. Little by little, Fnatic onic will try to crawl back into this game, but they have so much they still have to do. Even looking at the items, you can see the gaps between the lanes here. And yes, at some point, Kelro might get the itemization he needs, but he doesn't have it just yet. Still working on the BOD. Down a little bit against Benny. As they get in position now for this Lord take. Crucial in positioning. If there's any time for Kirk also to find the kick, this is going to be the one. Positioning there, Royal Milk scouting things out. Be able to find one, and now they have to reset. Again, the great thing that FNOP was able to hold on to the base turrets off that massive push in from Falcon Esports. But the Lord's going to start up, and the front line is going to be set up. They might just have to give the Lord away as Falcon Esports will get the Lord and get ready to march towards the base again of Fnatic onic Philippines.
Flawless execution for Falcon Esports. Now they have the advantage to siege in and get down inhibitor turrets for their side as they once again take away the buffs of Fnatic onic Philippines. Looking at the itemization, no defensive items for Killera. He does, however, have the Festival of Blood and the Pure Rage for added sustain, but the problem is if he gets picked off or get knocked up, it's an easy kill for Falcon Esports.
This is crucial too. Genius One locked in now over here on the side of Falcon Esports. In a base defense against an Aurora too, and then Dax just going to the back line. It's going to be so difficult for the positioning here. You got to have to keep an eye on Kelra. See if they can actually give him the space he needs to move around this. All waves pushing in perfectly from Falcon Esports as they get ready to take down the base turrets of FNOP. Mid already down, bottom next. Electrifying beats popped, and they're trying to hold it together. Kid X taking up some damage. Lord's going to be worked on. Now they make their way towards the last turret of the base, but right now FNOP still in it.
Oh, Falcon Esports, they still have enhancements into the middle lane, and on the top, will they go for the engage? You have a 9k gold lead here. They still have a lot of utilities. Again, AOG and also the Frigid Glacier. They popped the Revitalize for added HP coming in for this potential. Oh. Look at it, that's not, it's gonna hurt though. Kinex goes in with the AOG.
AOG, Kinex, gotta get back. Already utilizing both Revitalizes. A couple shots coming in. They're gonna go in with a disengage, and Dax will run on out. Even with a conceal use, they won't follow any more. Again, Falcon Esports, job accomplished. All base turrets of FNOP down.
All base turrets, no casualties, extending their lead once again, trying to take away all the buffs the Fnatic onic Philippines can have. However, King Kong is going to be able to take this purple buff, and looking at the items, the decision of Gelra to not go for any defensive once again. It's pretty evident that they have trouble trying to go for Kelra, but is the damage going to be enough? Though we've seen the Death Sonata connecting 2 times. It's quite painful for Falcon Esports, but again, they have double Revitalized, they have frontliners, beefy ones, they can out-sustain the damage coming in from the gold standard.
This is really where they're so exposed here, Kirk. Even getting out of that jungle, and again, Kelra, he only has that flicker available. Working, there's the Rose Gold Meteor, so he's got that. But you can see this, you know, positioning so crucial for him because one mistake, and if he gets cut off with an Avatar of the Guardian from Falcon Esports, it's going to be really difficult to get away, and he's going to have to rely on the peel from the rest of the lineup here. So it's just a standoff. 15 seconds away from that Lord. We'll see if Falcon Esports just gets another one, but a couple shots here, maintaining these waves, pushing in. Falcon will make their way for the objective. It might be better here, Egon, if, I don't know, if FNOP doesn't fight this, but they have the option to go into position. It looks like they'll do just that. Even with Super Friends still holding on to his own AOG. Benny did just get the Wind of Nature, so has that extra defensive capabilities alongside the Purify. They'll start the Lord up here now. At this point in the game, at 16 minutes in, the Lord going to take a little bit longer to go ahead and burst down, even with this kind of itemization. But Royal Milk will still provide the vision. PX7 and Kid X as well, trying to force back FNOP. It looks like they want to fight. Kid X and T. Karas picked up. They don't want to commit just yet. It does go for a reset. They're still holding it together. They might give the go. Kelra's positioning still has the flicker. They take their time in the approach, but right now they're gonna whittle down Royal Milk.
Okay, that's Sonata forcing out Royal Milk's Revitalize, causing him to go out of position. Soft reset onto this Lord.
That's one down right now, but they're still gonna be going.
Another Revitalize going in from Kid X. They're zoning out the members of Fnatic on the Philippines as Falcon Esports gets the Lord. Here comes the AOG. They want to go for more. Dax with electrifying beaks, working on Kirk, and he's gonna take him down. Benny on the other hand goes on to King Kong. Keller might be caught off guard here. Will be able to stay alive. Yes, he will. PX7 flickers out, manages to stay alive, and Falcon Esports once again outplaying Fnatic on the Philippines.
And that's just showing again how much of a lead they have in the fight, where they can take a couple shots. It was smart. I mean, they got Royal Milk's Revitalize out, but then they were forcing that fight. They were forcing the situation, and even Kelra to burn the flicker. That means you won't have it for this defense. So even more so is that positioning going to be crucial. They're going to have to manage the waves pushing in. Kirk will be up. But right now, Falcon Esports looking to close out this game 4 on this push. Keeping an eye on them here. King Kong and Super Prince holding on to the Avatar. The Guardian will have to make this work.
Lord sieging in onto the middle lane. King Kong has to walk away. Brusquito goes in, but electrifying beat from Dax is there. Benny gets a free hit. AOG, and they're working on the crystal. A shutdown onto Kelra, and Falcon Esports evens out the series.
We've got a game of 5 in our first best of 5 here. Again, both teams want to.
Venus Hayabusa picked up from FCon. They're going to try and get some early kills, some early initiations. There goes the Irithel, slotted in.
Okay, so we've seen Kelra play the Aerithel before. It was against the 1-1. You know, it was against one of those picks, but still, I'm not completely against this.
I've played this matchup before. I'm pretty confident with the Irithel. You just have better coverage. Granger has to draw straight lines.
Hey, from the final draft for
Final drop.
Here, going on to Kirk, even with the Revitalize, they're going to bring him down. A first blood drawn by Falcon Esports.
Oh man, the fact that you get a first blood already, even though it went to Royal Milk, man, I mean, that's a great start for them. Now for Fnatic onic, gonna go ahead and try to adjust from this pace. Again, King Kong on the Joy. We know this has been very elusive, but now you have a Hayabusa across from you. Oh!
There was the Void Crystal. Was the damage coming in from Brusco, forcing out PX7 to use a flicker. So there was still an engage from Fnatic onic Philippines. And let's see if they can continue the aggression, because so far, if Dax just continues on his rampage over King Kong right now, but King Kong managed to steal away that jungle minion.
There's a whole lot here. I mean, this is the tension throughout the series, of course. A lot of battle spells being expended early on. Even Kelra taking a couple shots here.
Process Purify. One more, Benny. Is he going to be able to do it with the Rhapsody, though? He's going to connect, but it's not going to be enough. Kelra survives.
He sidesteps, he bobs, he weaves. Kelra survives. In that exchange, again, that would have been massive here for Benny if he's able to capitalize on the kill. But still, they find themselves pushing and pulling really on all sides of the map. Now, looking at this too, you know, you've got Benny running that Festival of Blood. This time around, he didn't go with the Master Assassin just yet either. So here, we find ourselves first objective for the taking. It's going to be started up by King Kong, and Falcon Esports will get in position. Are they going to be able to contest this?
Okay, King Kong starting things off. Here comes the catch, and Dax gets the turtle. King Kong has to walk away. Here comes the counter engage coming in for Fnatic. onic Philippines forcing Royal Milk to use the Revitalize. No response for Fnatic, and Falcon Esports, a well-coordinated attack against Fnatic.
Now with that trade, Falcon Esports still holding on to a very minor lead. The fact that they got this objective, PX7, using the Eternal Guard, doesn't have the flicker though, so able to stay alive for now. Some information. Bottom side though, this is what we see so much in the gold lane right now. And this time around, with the fact that this is an Irithel for Kelra, it's going to work in their favor with mobility, but they're going to go for Benny.
There's no ranking stats for Brusco. Because he wasn't level 4, Benny picks up the counter kill.
A big hiccup for Benny, even the 1v2. Looks like Fnatic wanted, you know, to just try to make that play for Kelra, but instead they get punished. So again, an adjustment's got to be made here for Fnatic.
That's how important the first major objective is, which was the turtle. Because Fnatic onic Philippines didn't have the chance to get it, Brusco wasn't level 4. They went for the engage. The Raging Sandstorm wasn't available. And Benny was... Wiggy Shadow Kill, forcing Super Prince to walk away. Here comes King Kong onto the back line with the electrifying beast. Raging Sandstorm finally connects onto Dax, but answers with the implosion. Here comes the counter-attack, but still King Kong manages to find Dax and walk away safely.
Kirk is there, joining the fight. Kid X able to get away. Again, the momentum shifts just slightly, diminishing that minor gold lead that Falcon Esports built up. And now King Kong holding on to the 2 kills. This is what he wants to do. He wants to go ahead and scale up as quickly as possible, especially when you have Dax on the Hayabusa across from you. Turtle coming up here at 10 seconds away as it's on the bottom portion of the map. They'll have to rotate down. King Kong still up on the top side. Dax will make his way though. They might just try to blitz this forward. They have 3 members here, Kelra and Brusco, waiting for the rest of the team. Positioning important. King Kong might, hold on, Brusco.
Defending Raging Sandstorm. Quick sand guard to make sure he's not going to get picked up by Falcon Esports. Here comes King Kong though. Brusco has to walk away.
Kelra.
Brusco went down, but Big 7 as well. Kelra in the midst of everything go. Kirk working on a Kid X. Kid X has the implosion plus the revitalize. Here comes the Sacred Hammer. It's going to get a kill on to Kid X. King Kong zoning out Benny. But Falcon Esports remains unbothered. Going to try and go for the purple buff. Kirk though, zoning out Royal Milk.
You're going to have to go ahead and just get this buff. Dax goes and secures it. King Kong's going to start the turtle. They expended quite a bit on both sides for this. Dax will check things out, but 4 members of Fnatic onic will force Royal Milk back. So they might have just gotten a hard-fought turtle. Now Benny going to be in trouble. Gets out with the flicker. And Brusco be able to escape. But now Kirk, King Kong looking for the back play as well. They go in a little bit longer.
King Kong brings down PX7 with an electrifying bleats. And Kelra works on the bottom lane turret. They also secure the turtle. A lot of isolated clashes there for both of these teams. But Fnatic onic Philippines, they won all 3.
Man, it just feels like, you know, at one moment, FNOP flips a switch. They turn things in their favor, and they just cause some chaos that makes teams kind of second guess a little bit on the positioning. I mean, they collapse down even under the turrets. So they now build up 2,000 gold lead at this point. They got the last objective. Falcon Esports still in fighting form, though. They're still in a good position to go ahead and contest the next turtle when it comes up. But they might look for another play if they can. Again, the surprise factor here really is for Kid X. He's got the implosion, he's got the flicker combination, where Royal Milk, he's more so of utility. I have some sustainability with Revitalize, but I can also use the Glorious Pathway to cut off the exit routes. But Royal Milk.
They're going to force out the Glorious Pathway to be used defensively. On the other hand, Kirk has to walk away here, coming in damage of Falcon Esports. They also used up their Revitalize. Major resource expended for the side of Falcon Esports. And they're going to make quick work of the mid lane turret. They might set their eyes on Benny. King Kong goes in, Rhythm of Joy, and an Omega kill for the beast himself, King Kong.
You can't stop him. You can only contain King Kong, but now with the mid lane.
There's an attempt coming in from Falcon Esports. Here's come one to Kid X again with the implosion. But the sustain is there for Fnatic onic Philippines. Kelmer dishing out the damage, forcing Falcon Esports to walk away. Again, no trade. And I do agree, you cannot stop King Kong in his element. 4-0-1, and now they're going to take away the buffs of Falcon Esports.
They've got to stop him, though. They have to stop him from taking the resources. Dax is going to need this. He's only level 9, nearly level 10, but he's falling behind here. Turtle up for the taking. Going to go ahead and get in position. Falcon Esports needs this. If not the turtle, then a defining team fight in their favor. They don't have a flicker for Kid X. He's got to wait for the implosion to be available, so they'll take their time with it. But even so, Benny and the PX7 both have to watch out positioning-wise. They're going to set things up. Benny picking up with the Malefic Roar. Turtle's going to be started up by King Kong. And now Kirk providing the vision. Both gold laners making their way towards the fight here.
Okay, they're going to try and work on Kirk. Here comes the implosion. They're going to commit it. Dax on the other hand, trying to focus on the turtle. Bruce going to first man down, but they answer right back with a kill onto Kid X. King Kong still gets the turtle. Another kill onto Kirk. Falcon Esports doing their best to try and break down King Kong with a big shadow kill. But it's not going to be enough to bring down King Kong. Fnatic onic Philippines with a 2.6k gold lead.
The 2-for-2 trade, but the objective for FNOP further in the lead a little bit further, and that's a Holy Crystal now with a Starlium Scythe for King Kong. Look at the gap for the jungle in terms of the gold, a massive lead right now, 2.2K ahead of Dax. And when you pick a Hayabusa like this is where it gets difficult. Holding on to the buff, so they go in and break out in a fight, they'll take the purple.
This is the main difference compared to game number 3 and game number 4. Kirk has been activated along with Brusco. They finally are able to get the vision, to get the zone from Falcon Esports compared to what happened during game number 4 wherein with the Akai pick. It was easy to burst down and poke down Brusco. That's why during the big engagements, he has no HP. He gets bursted down right away, not able to maximize the ultimate. But right now, it's different. It's a different story for Fnatic onic Philippines. We see Kirk, even if he overextends, even if Kid X commits Implosion and Sacred Hammer, it's not enough to burst him down. But all the value that they get with what Kirk did was all used up by Fnatic onic.
Man, even for Super Prince, you know, the fact that he's just able to go ahead and be a nuisance by setting things up with the RWM, but he also just has a glowing wand and a wishing lantern. I mean, the Void Crystals alone are enough to go ahead and stop some of the guessing of Falcon Esports on wanting to fight. And Dax is almost going to be in a situation where then, all right, he's behind, he's got to kind of catch up. He's not going to be really to go face-to-face against King Kong. So best case scenario for Dax is he's just able to go ahead and somehow steal the Lord if that ends up happening. It might have to happen here. We've seen this time and time again with previous Hayabusa players, but again, the zoning potential from FNOP is so good that Dax's entry point is really hard to get to. I mean, he has such a difficult time actually getting there, even with the quad shadows.
Yeah.
So now the Lord is up. It's going to be started up by King Kong. It's still going to be used too. They want to make a play on Royal Milk.
Okay. They want to go for the -1 King Kong here with electrifying beats, forcing the force pathway once again, plus the revitalize. That's 2 major resources expended by Falcon Esports. And again, you mentioned Dax. It's going to take a lot miracles to try and go for the Lord Steal, but here comes the Sacred Hammer play onto Kirk.
Oh, Dax, look at that. Already so low, even with the quad shadow. A quarter of the health. They know they're low. They're going to start up the Lord again. He's going to try to get the orange buff and get some health back here. They might be able to delay this even further still. As Falcon Esports, do they contest this? Orange buff locked in, get some of the health back. He's going to reset. They know that some of the resources were down as well from FNOP. So both teams still going for a reset. Even with this kind of lead, Fnatic onic cannot overextend into the team fight, and they'll send Benny back down to possibly just push this out a little bit, that tier 1.
He's going to try to go for a trade instead, because again, looking at the... Brusco along with Super Friends going to bring down Royal Milk. Real world manipulation paired up with a Raging Sandstorm is enough to take him down. Now they're going to work on Kid X. Here comes the power of Villainess, forcing Kid X to walk away. 1 member down for Falcon Esports. Fnatic onic Philippines looks to get the Lord away from Falcon.
Should be able to get this. Dax is around the corner. I said he might have to go for a steal. Looks like he might try to do it. Pop in the shadow kill, but they delay the Lord a little bit further.
Super Friends manages to find Dax. And now he has to walk away. Fnatic onic Philippines secures the Lord.
Great pull off there. When they saw Dax enter, they didn't keep pressuring it, so they're able to go ahead and safely secure the Lord. Falcon Esports in a position once again to get ready to defend. Some crucial items were just picked up. They are catching up a little bit here, but you can see it. A lot of this is relying on Benny. Again, he's got the items that he needs, still working on the next one, the 3rd item. We'll see if it's enough to defend into the base. That Lord is pushing its way down the bottom. They are going to lose that tier 2 up top. They'll try to hold on to what they can. The shields might even be threatened here. They'll clear out what they can, but this is the moment. Maybe Kid X is able to pull something off with the implosion. But can he withstand the damage? Again, Kid X not fully locked in. Only a Dominance Ice completed on this Tigreal pick. They'll try to spot them out of the jungle as they deal with the Lord right now, but so far so good for Falcon Esports. Glorious Pathway dropped down to try to maintain the tier 2 in that mid lane. There's a conceal though. They might put some pressure here now on the base of Falcon Esports.
Falcon Esports made quick work of that Lord down bottom and manages to save also the mid lane turret. Just look at the damage coming in from Keller, forcing PX7 to walk away. King Kong electrifying beat. This might be the catch. Falcon Esports gets 1 kill. Now they want to go for more though. Kid X with a conceal. Missed the implosion. Super Friends with a super instinct. And now the counter attack coming in from Keller. They're going to take down 1 more. Kid X is going to fall down in exchange for King Kong.
I can't say I wouldn't have tried it myself. Kid X went in, but it didn't work. And right now, they look to go ahead and just stop the bleeding. I mean, they got King Kong. Oh, Royal Milk?
Okay.
Glorious Pathway. Not sure what they're going to do with this if they just want to secure the purple buff. They have the rest of the team to help them out with this, but look at the front line. Brusco taking a couple shots, and Kirk will also be spotted out. Again, making it work here for Dax to get the buff. Goes in, takes a couple shots, and has to go back, so he's going to lose the purple buff.
You can just see the damage of the Death Sonata and Rhapsody not sufficient. Kirk just stood up against the Rhapsody, took all bullets, and just look at the health, full health already, utilizing the passive, just going into the bushes alongside Brusco. So how do you go and attack the front line? Even if you have a Benny with the Granger already has a huge items. Fnatic onic Philippines with a 4.2k gold lead. The thing is, the only thing that Fnatic onic Philippines really needs to worry about is the implosion that can come from Kid X at any given moment, paired up with the internal guard. But the thing is, they were able to avoid it with Super Prince Flicker. Here comes the Sacred Hammer. Okay, but Kirk still going for it.
They're going to jump on in. Actually, already crafting down on Kid X. They're in trouble.
They collapsed on Kid X to bring him down. No more implosion from Falcon Esports. They might go for one more. They're going to try to work on the mid lane turret. They take down the internal guard in now 3 seconds. Major objective for Fnatic onic Philippines. The Lord has spawned.
I think Dax still tries the same thing. Even down with Kid X. Kid X will be up in 14. They can delay it enough for him to be up. Plus, he'll have the flicker. So if they try to make something happen, but they're going to send Kirk. Go ahead and spot them out. Might force something. Oh!
The power of wilderness might be too much. Dax has to retreat. Glorious pathway again used defensively. Fnatic onic Philippines. King Kong secures the Lord.
Objectives secured. And now for Falcon Esports, once again on the defense. But this time, this Lord will help them push into the base. They do hold on to this one tier 2 turret in the mid lane. But if you're looking at the items for this, as they come up, Benny is where that damage profile comes from. Even PX7 still trying to catch up a little bit. We're seeing how much Super Prince is a threat alone. Like we mentioned, still working on his next items. Already got 3. And even the Wishing Lantern, I mean, the Wishing Lantern, the procs there do help out. King Kong picking up a Divine Glaive. So this is just a whole lot of magic damage. Overloading Falcon Esports as they are ready to defend against this. Again, Benny's positioning. He's only got a flicker. He's got that one dash, but they'll hold it together. Royal Milk still holding on to the revitalized and glorious pathway. They might need it here unless they force the situation. Brusco, keep an eye on him. Might try to force things in. They lose that top turret. Now the mid lane has to be defended. They're going to clear out the Lord. Dax, oh, Kid X!
Kid X goes in with an implosion, but a counter by Brusco with the raging sandstorm from the backline. Gonna take down Kid X once more. King Jump with an electrifying beast. Gonna force out PX7 to use the flicker. They do, however, clear out the Lord and clear out the minions. They might go for the counter attack. Here comes Dax though. Does he have the Leaky Shadow Kill? No, he doesn't. And Fnatic onic Philippines will go for the retreat.
Falcon Esports will defend though, only losing that top turret. They're still in the game. And whether or not, you know, Kid X gets that setup to turn the tide, they at least buy time. And that's exactly what they need here. Again, at some point in the game, the gold lead will not matter so much. Dax has done a good job at catching back up. Remember, he was down quite a bit against King Kong. Benny is online. He's where he needs to be. But Kid X, once Kid X gets a little bit more tanky, catches up himself in the itemization and doesn't have to solely rely on Royal Milk either, then that's when they're ready to go toe-to-toe and fight this out. Because even Kirk on the Hilda, man, Kirk alone is so tanky enough.
Okay.
So go ahead and get ready for this. Again, trying to take that buff.
Keller already swapped his boots for the Wind of Nature. So he's jam-packed. Keller wants to go all in. And for Falcon Esports, it's either you try and go to contest for the Lord and steal it away, or at least if Fnatic onic Philippines secures the Lord, you need to take down bodies for the side of Fnatic onic Philippines.
At this point, FNOP will just go ahead and take things slowly, take the buffs what they can, and go ahead and just gauge to see if Falcon Esports wants to force a fight. I don't think they should. And if they do, it's literally only going to be when Kid X has that flicker available, but it might be better off. They've tried it a couple times, that they just get the fair fight they're looking for. You know, we saw what we expected was that back in game 2 where Kid X on the same hero, the Tigreal, wasn't able to work out from him. He's out there scouting, but they're going to have to work for this. Again, we'll see if he actually gets back, but the Lord is up. It's going to be started up too. So he does still recall, it looks like, unless he gets the information that he's not going to be safe, but Super Prince will spot Kid X out.
And now they're going to go all in onto Kid X. Royal Milk forced to use the glorious pathway. Kid X immortality will be popped.
from Brusco was on point. 4 members down. It's only Benny to defend this base push. Kelra and Super Fritz, they'll take down the mid turret. They'll clear out the lanes, but they might not be able to end it. Super Fritz.
Oh, Kelra
Oh!
with heavy crossbow, forcing Benny to walk away. He's gonna bring down King Kong, but Fnatic doesn't care. They
Yes.
secure top 4.
The storm rages on as the lightning fast porcupines pierce through the pride of Myanmar, Falcons Esports.
Nice game.
A decisive 5-game series. What better way to book that slot, the top 4 in the Oxiana Arena, than to have it go all the way? What people thought, myself included, was going to be a sweep was not. And talk about the rising to the occasion from Falcon Esports. They do go down to the lower bracket, though. They still have a chance to fight on. We'll see if they make it happen. Again, I'm Nice. That's Ingon. Let's throw it over to the panel.
Nice game.
That makes 3 and 5. Still in favor of the Burmese.
I do what I want to do.
Ang biling hero kaso hindi ko naman ginagamit yan. Si Alpha. Ito na lang.
Test. Alpha is online.
Ang hero mo namatay. Thank you.